She'd been missing 10 days. They thought she was dead. Then her mum got a panic text from her. It was a cool September in 2006 in Lugoff in South Carolina. 14-year-old Lizzie Shoaf regularly got the bus to and from school with her younger brother. And she was a responsible girl, she was a really good student, and she followed the rules, so her parents had no reason to think that she would be unsafe. Both children were really, really well behaved. They always got back home straight away and did their homework. But on the 6th of the month, Lizzie vanished on her way home from school. Her family was frantic. They were handing out flyers all over the neighbourhood, hundreds and hundreds of flyers, and police were out in full force. Worried neighbours gave their own time up to hunt round the woods just to look for any sign of the child. Her dad was driving up and down, scouring the area. But frustratingly, they found nothing. And the police were kind of like, oh, well, she may have run away. But her family were like, no, she is a rule follower. She would never have done this of her own accord. And I don't know whether you guys know this, but actually the police, without like a visible kidnapping, no car number plate, no suspect, the police couldn't actually put out an Amber Alert. And for the next 7 days, Lizzie's poor family, their hearts would stop as soon as they heard any kind of rumour or news about any kind of body that was found. They were immediately bracing themselves for terrible, terrible news. Until Lizzie's mum got a text. It said, hey mum, it's Lizzie. I'm in the ground near Charm Hill. It's near that dirt road where the big trucks park. Go get police though because he has bees. Now she was immediately hysterical. She was like, oh my god, this is the news we've been waiting for. We can find Lizzie. But police were like, well, this could be a hoax. But Lizzie's mum was like, no, look, she has spelt Lizzie with 1 Z. That's the way that Lizzie spelt her own name, and nobody else would know to spell it that way. So police immediately started working with mobile phone tower people, the network people, basically, to figure out where this phone was exactly and who it belonged to. It was a guy called Vincent Filior. And he was actually already known to police and he was on the run. They were desperately trying to find him because guess what? He had SA'd a young girl. They raced straight over to his house. I don't know why they didn't go sort of right to the place where Lizzie had suggested in the message, but they went to his house anyway, and they found some disgusting stuff. It was like substances, corn material, bee making equipment, and underground bunkers in his own home. This was terrifying. He was clearly a very messed up man, but there was still no Lizzie. And maybe it's just me, but the next part to me is ridiculously stupid. The police essentially released to the media the news that a text had come through off Lizzie. And Lizzie's mum was furious, like, oh my god, you've just given the game away. If the kidnapper sees that Lizzie has sent a text, he'll know that you're onto him and he might kill her. The mum literally said, you've just killed my daughter. So probably thinking, oh shit, what have we done? Police then carried on scouring the local woods. They were looking everywhere for this little girl. They were shouting her name anywhere that they could. Till on the 10th day, they heard a noise. It was a young girl's voice and she was screaming for help. And the noise was coming from under the ground. It was Lizzie. She'd finally been found. And she'd been through absolute hell. I mean, just look where she had been kept. In the most disgusting conditions, tied up, hard, abused. The most sickening 10 days that anybody could have ever gone through. The reunion with her family was just so unbelievable. They couldn't believe they'd finally got their daughter back. But when they'd heard what she'd been through, they were sick to their stomachs. This man had approached her on her way home from school, and like I said, she was a rule follower, and he pretended he was the police, and he said she was under arrest. He was like, substances have been found at your home. We've already got your brother in custody, so now we need to take you down to the station. And she, bless her, believed him, and she was like, oh my god, I need to go to the station to help my brother. But then he tied a box around her neck, told her it was a bee, and frog marched her into the woods. He then shoved her into the underground bunker and was like, I lied, I've actually kidnapped you. While she was kidnapped, she could hear helicopters up above. It was so infuriating. She knew they must be looking for me, but I'm effectively invisible under the ground. And this was actually even more dangerous than you'd think, because his plan, Vincent's plan, was to booby-trap the bunker, lure police there, and set off bees in order to kill the officers. He wanted revenge for them trying to capture him because he was a paedophile. But Lizzie was incredibly intelligent during this. She was like, maybe if I gain this man's trust and I pretend to like him, then he'll give me a bit more freedom and I'll have more chance of escaping. And it worked. She pretended that she liked him and they formed some kind of relationship. Obviously, Lizzie was faking this. And he started tried letting her play on his phone. When he was asleep, she used the opportunity to type that message to her mum. And Lizzie's mum was right, actually. Vincent did have a TV and did see that the news had broke that Lizzie had texted for help. But he was pretty panicked and he was only thinking about himself, so he just bolted. He ran. But his freedom didn't last long, and after an intense manhunt, he was finally tracked down not far away. He eventually did plead guilty and he was given 421 years behind bars. Now, he actually didn't serve that amount of time because he died behind bars in 2021 at age just 51. And I couldn't find an exact cause of death for him. I wonder if you guys know, because it does seem incredibly young to die. Not that I'm complaining.